Okay, it's recording. So, speak up.
Well, this is the model cabin,
The model cabin in Canada.
which is used for rentals. And we rented it.
And that's your mom and your little sister and you.
Yes, and the dog.
And what's the dog's name?
Fluffy.
Fluffy. How'd you pick that name out? That's your mom.
Right.
It's your dad.
Yes.
Your mom. Your mom has pretty good camera work. See a nice steady hand? It's you waving.
Mm-hmm.
Who's the little fella?
The little
Girl.
fellow is, I think, a little Shuttleworth boy. I'm not positive. Shuttleworths are friends of our family. They had already had a house built up there.
Shuttleworth grandparent?
No.
Possibly?
No.
And that's you riding, Mom?
Yes.
And where were the horses? Up in Canada?
Yes, at the Scenery Club. This is up at what they call maybe the racetrack. They had a racetrack up there and a place for horse shows.
These are people watching the horses, probably?
Yes, our kids.
Right.
It's just them.
Looks like a nice summer day. Some old
Well,
cars.
the horse show was a benefit. I don't know where the money went, but people had box seats there, those under their umbrellas. And then people came and went into competitions.
Did you compete when you were? Did you?
Well, I did some just in plain riding around in the circle.
Did you jump?
No,
Oh,
I
no
never
jump.
did.
And it was English? No, you weren't. You were sitting. You weren't side saddling.
No. I guess this is black and white. So.
Right. Yes. So this is a military guy?
Yes, they went around and competed.
So this was all
Some
one...
cavalry, probably belonged to some cavalry.
When,
Or maybe regiments might have a cavalry component to them.
is this around 1934, 1935? You were 10?
Yes, yes.
Around 10? You almost got thrown there. Did Nancy ride?
She did.
It's a high jump.
And the Royal Canadian Mounties, they had sent a troop there to...
Now this scene was completely lost, and I brought it. It was black prior to this. That's just the troop.
They were stabled in the village in a big barn.
Now this is...
Somebody else's garden.
This
It
is someone
wasn't-
else's garden.
It wasn't my family's because I don't know if the house had been built yet.
So you used to travel up there before you had a house and just stay here or there. You belong to the Scenery Club, is that it?
Yes, that's the name of it.
And that was
Now,
so
I'm not even sure this could be our house.
that could be your dad, right?
Yes,
And that's your
and
fluffy
there's the
dog.
dog.
And that's your mom.
Getting brushed. Maybe
Wonder
she had a
who's
bath.
taking the video. Could you be taking it? And this is another dog getting washed.
Somebody else's. This may be the Shuttleworth's house. He was married to his second wife, and I think that woman might be a daughter from his first marriage, and that might be her husband. I don't know who that is.
You don't have to do this.
What?
Here. You don't have to do this.
Well, alright, just leave it alone.
It's just because it's going to pick up the sound. So, who's that?
I think the daughter's name might have been Doris. My mother at the left there. So these are people who had so much fun, Albert, always laughing.
These are friends of your parents?
Well, I
They're
guess
your parents' generation, right?
Or they might even be younger than my parents.
Are these the same people?
And then they went riding too. She might have had a horse. The one at the left is Doris.
Doris?
Shuttleworth. Doris, but she probably had a different last name.
Was this a road by, because this road shows up a lot.
I think it's a road by the house we ultimately built.
Is that you? It's hard to tell.
That's my mother's coming along there. I can't tell Nancy from me sometimes. It's probably your mother, Albert. Your grandmother.
And here, you know, this, you know, if you're 14 here or something like that.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard to tell.
My father.
It's you and Nancy, right?
It could be another person. You have to rub your skis back and forth to get the snow that would freeze on the bottoms of them. Oh, this is made from the tapes to which you added your New Age music, right?
Right. Now you're on your cruise.
Yes. So this, I think, is
So who's that?
1933. That's my mother.
That's your mother.
Yes.
This is 1933, you think?
Yes, there's Nancy.
That's Nancy. Is that your mother next to
My
Nancy?
mother next to Nancy. I don't know the other two people.
It's
This is on the SS Virginia, going to go through the Panama Canal.
from where to where?
From New York City, it's going to go to San Francisco and return. And this is coming into, like, Cuba. That's Havana.
Did you go on the cruise with a bunch of people you know? Or did you
No.
just meet people on the cruise?
I have no idea. I just met people. There were people my age on the cruise. There was a revolution going on this day in Cuba, so our family did not go ashore, but we could have.
Did they have a lot of revolutions in Cuba?
I guess they did.
Well, that would probably nail down the date.
and that might be called the Morro Castle, the fort there. And the boys who swim in the water, people would throw coins over and they would get them, put them in their mouths. These were men selling items. They had a rope going up to the deck so something could be sent up. And notice how formally dressed the gentlemen always are with their ties on. They're on a cruise.
Right, cruise wear.
Cruise wear. That was a ship that had first class and second class passengers on it. And the sections were separate on boats in the old days. This is in the Panama Canal. Coming to a lock. Put the top on. Thank you.
Where was your dad born, Mom?
I believe he was born on Staten Island.
It's a U.S. flag ship. Don't see those anymore. I'm sure all this was beautiful when they were shooting it, right?
That plaque might be memorial to people who died constructing the canal.
It's Nancy.
Nancy, yes. The pool is in one of the cargo holds on the ship. And these were the older people.
Random people that you met on the cruise?
Well, yes, they were there. My mother getting used to the cold water, which she didn't like. This is the pool at a hotel in Pasadena.
Oh. Did you stay at the hotel?
We did, yes.
And that was part of the cruise, or?
Well, I think we might have disembarked from that ship here and stayed in the hotel, and then we took a cruise. See, now we're on somebody's yacht. This is either the second husband or the boyfriend of a Luckenbach wife, and this is the daughter. I have to have John see this.
That's the captain of the yacht?
That's the captain of the yacht.
So you did not continue to San Francisco?
No, we got off at Los Angeles and did a sightseeing in that area.
So who's smoking?
And that at the right is Stella Luckenbach, but I think she's the one who's divorced from the Luckenbach. And my mother was smoking. She was seasick. Yes.
Oh.
This might be at Catalina. And then this is Stella. There was a sort of a wall bunk up in the main cabin. That's where
waking up with a little drink of beer?
And this is an insert from this is when they, maybe before they got divorced, my father, yes, up at the Scenery Club. It's just a little insert.
Was that New Year's, maybe? Looked like they were counting down to...
Yeah, something like.
Now, so that little scene there...
This is at Catalina, the casino at Catalina.
But that little scene was just stuck in there. So
yeah, my father had a little machine where he could add film, change things around.
Oh, that explains some.
We have the thing still.
I've seen it.
Probably not working. No,
So
I think we're back on the Virginia now.
So when it came back through Los Angeles, you got back on board?
Probably. Yes, yes. I think there were more scenes at Catalina that I don't see. That was the man in the gym on the Virginia. This is coming back into New York. I think that's Fort Wadsworth in New York Harbor.
How did you know the Luckenbachs?
Through people who lived in Bay Ridge, Brooklyn. Statue of Liberty. This is at 444 Ovington Avenue. That's Nettie Chiappardi, a friend, Nancy, and me. This is Jack and his wife Peggy, my mother's brother.
Oh.
And this is Margaret Fisher, and I think Mrs. Casey next to her on her left. Were you back at the Scenery Club?
I would think so. This kind of camera work seems prevalent up there. Who's that? Is that you?
Yeah, that's Nancy.
That's Nancy.
That's up at the Scenery Club. And that's looking out from the house, looking down at the Ottawa River.
So this is from your
and
house?
Across into Ontario. On the far side of the river is the province of Ontario. And to the left is Montreal.
How close is Montreal?
If I say 80 miles, I'm not really
it's
sure.
not very close. Would you drive up there?
We always went on the train.
Take the train.
And this is my family's house.
There's a picture of this above the fireplace.
Above the
living room?
fireplace.
In our living room. There's two pictures of your house like that.
No, those are fjords in Norway. That's Jeannie Owens with my sister Nancy.
Oh, no, there's a picture in my old room of the
Yes, of the house that was done by some artist. Now these are friends of my family. They had these two dogs, and they came and stayed weekends. Heaven knows why. I'm trying to think of their name. This is probably up at Lake Commandant. And now back. We're looking out at the view from the house. I guess we have a duck. There's this duck up in Canada. That's Margaret Fisher, and this is Henry Chalafoux. I don't know the woman's name. He was a gardener.
That's you?
Nancy.
Nancy?
These probably are friends of my family, my parents. My father. Those might be rabbits. My mother raised rabbits. This is the harbor at the Scenery Club Hotel, and people would come from, via canals, they could come from Detroit to the Scenery Club, also obviously from Montreal or from Ottawa. And this is a church in Bay Ridge. Christ Church in Bay Ridge. I think that might have been the day my sister was confirmed. That's her uncle Elders, his name was, and that's a boy named Bill Morgan. My father over at the left. These are the Audrey. I don't know who they are. George Elliger's. Parker was their name. This is my mother's sewing group. Mrs. Field in a gray dress. That's Mrs. Field. Mrs. Casey, my mother. Grampy, Nana. They had a travel trailer after they sold their house in Halifax. They traveled around deciding where they were going to settle down. I don't know where they parked this trailer up at the Scenery Club. I think it was up there. My mother.
It's your grandmother shooting the footage, and your mother shooting the footage.
Mm-hmm. Now this is not at my place, no location that I know. So this is by someone's house on Long Island Sound. I guess this is at a club, a hotel.